Hi, today I'm going to go over photographing outside murals art, something that is a picture that someone's made, and we're going to actually take some photographs of it and some things I like to think of when I'm doing a photograph of a mural. So I'm here at a school here in SoCal, and this is a mascot for a school. So how would I photograph this mural? Okay, one idea is I could come really low. Okay, if I shoot really low, it kind of looks more impressive. So that's one idea that will give a scale a sense. If you have somebody in front of it, say you put someone very close, you could get this sense of scale. If you come over to an angle, it looks very dynamic like that. So these are some ideas. Another thing what you could do with a mural such as this is if there's something around it, you can create some really cool framing. Say if you come down like that, that's a cool idea. You could actually kind of shoot through the tree. So if you have a shallow depth of field, you have a telephoto lens of some kind, you can focus on the subject in the back, which is the mural here, and have that in focus, and you can have these tree right here out of focus. You could also try to find a higher vantage point. So over here we have some picnic benches. You could actually try to kind of shoot from on top there to kind of come down where you're kind of looking down. You could also get this sense of kind of wide angle like this, where you're kind of shooting that mural right in the middle. These are some ideas that you could do with this. You could also play around with the color, but I'm going to actually take a couple photographs with my phone, and you can see what I do with it. So for this first photo, I came in really low with my phone, and I also just kind of shot directly up to create this very imposing, powerful shot of a falcon coming down. And you can try that too with anything if you want to make it appear very big and exaggerated. So that first shot was with a wide angle lens. This second shot now was with a telephoto lens. And so I'm pretty far away from the mural, but you can't tell because of the telephoto lens. However, I'm very close to the leaves of the tree, which gives it a shallow depth of field, making the leaves out of focus. And I was focused on the mural in the background. You can do this with all kinds of things to make the foreground out of focus and the background in focus, creating an illusion of depth. Okay, so now I'm going to come over to another mural that we're going to try photographing over here. And this one's been here for a long time. There's some different things. I think you're going to like this mural. Okay, so behind me is this big mural, and we're going to actually try to photograph it. But as far as some ideas of how you could do this, really you're going to need some kind of wide angle lens to get the whole thing. You could also try experimenting with a panoramic kind of shot here. That would work. So you could experiment trying to do like a panorama. One cool idea what you could do too is you could try coming up here and focus on, say, a detail. So if you come out over here, you can see this. There's some cool details on here. So when we go out and we take some photos of a mural, the question is, what's most important? What stands out to you when you want to catch this? For this shot, I shot again on my phone, my iPhone, and I went with a wide angle shot. In Lightroom, I cropped it out a little bit, but one important thing I actually did was try to level out, straighten all the lines that were horizontal and vertical. And so that was really important. And then I went into Visco and I gave it a filter that was black and white to kind of make it look more dynamic. And for this shot of the mural, I actually came in really close detail, and I looked for something that was just very interesting to me. And I thought it was the cross with the sun behind it illustrating either sunrise, sunset, and of course, this cross being a significant piece of, the culture, the history of this school, of this area. And you can do that too with a mural. There's always kind of interesting small details that you can come up real close. And then I went back into Visco and gave it a really vibrant filter to make the colors pop more. Okay, so here's another example of a mural. It's actually on some stairs. And so some ideas of how you might actually photograph this is to get really low. Again, with a wide angle, you could actually even put somebody on the steps for some sense of scale. And I'm in the bright sunlight, right? So the idea is, how do we create something that's going to be visually appealing? So in my mind, I'm going to be like shooting possibly like straight up. I could also use these railings. So I could start really low with a wide angle and shoot up. I could also try experimenting with some of these cool shadows, these lines that we see, create some diagonal lines with the shadows and the railings. The idea is, what can we do to try to give it a different idea, a different take on this mural that's actually on the steps? So I'm going to try to take a couple photos and see if you guys can get some ideas. Also, I think what would be really great with this is even a black and white with a lot of contrast. Okay. Also, I think you could try shooting up high and coming down low. So let's see what I come up with. And for this mural that is on the steps, I wanted to get this sense of color and kind of give you more of an idea of what's around, not just the mural, but kind of the environment. So I was looking for something to also frame it, and this tree was a great example with all the leaves. I did make the colors a little bit more cool instead of warm. So you can kind of see that in this picture. And on this image of the mural, I was trying to go for something that was a little different. You might not recognize it from the same vantage point. So I went completely different one. I really like the strong diagonal lines in this image, especially with the railings, giving that sense of movement, because on stairs you're going up and down stairs. And then I wanted to make it warm. So the colors here, when I went into a filter to change the color palette, I made it more warm, and I used Visco again for this image, and just wanted to give the sense of dynamic movement